This is breaking news from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.
Or a paycheck stub that showed you belonged in these groups or these categories prior to being furloughed or laid off. The state recently announced that people 55 years of age with underlying conditions are eligible to receive the vaccine in Nevada. They are working with pharmacies as the provider of these vaccines for this group. Questions regarding this program should be directed to the state. From the Southern Nevada Health District side, extending our hours to provide additional access does remain a priority. It is contingent on having the resources available to do so. We are working on securing a contractor to take over the operations at the Stan Fulton COVID testing location, and this will free up additional personnel to be able to support our expanded vaccine operations. So that is the end of the opening statements from the Health District, and on my behalf, I'll turn it back over to our moderator.
If anyone has any questions today, please use the raise hand feature and we will be happy to answer them. First question today comes from mhynes. Go ahead, Mary. Oh, wait, did I unmute you? Does it work? Wait, there you are.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great. Thank you. I observed that there are same-day appointments available. I'm wondering if you can describe the current demand for vaccinations. I will tell you, this kind of surprised me considering how you had opened up eligibility to so many more groups, including casino workers. Is this surprising to you at all? How would you describe the demand in the current situation?
Well, the demand, I too am curious every morning when we look at the open spots for the days, but they seem to fill up as the day goes on. For instance, on Saturday, we did 6,300 plus vaccines out of the Cashman site, and Convention Center did over 5,300. So that day was very successful for us. Yesterday, they did a collective over 9,000 between the two of them, almost 10,000. And so they are open in the mornings, but they are filling up during the days. We do reach out to like the hospitality industry, and we send it to some political leaders, this open list or the numbers of openings, so that they can get it out to the groups that are trying to get in and get their shots. We hope that this continues, that we are able to get to full capacity and get as many shots out as we can. So we're not losing out as many appointments right now as we were 2 weeks ago or even a week ago with this expanded group. We're very thankful that we have that opportunity to serve that portion of our community.
Yes, and I would like to add that because our capacity has increased, we have more appointments. And keep in mind, we're still just making appointments for 3 days out or so. So people are, it's a short time for people to sign up for appointments. So, and sometimes we do have same day. It just depends on the demand at that point in time.
Our next question today is from Jaclyn Schultz. Please go ahead.
Do you think the people who are up in the tiers from hospitality to essential workers, are they taking advantage of this or are they not? What are we seeing? Also, just on another note, I've been hearing from there are plenty of teenagers, 16, 17-year-olds who are essential workers. You know, they've got their part-time job at the grocery store and they want to get that vaccine. How does their parent get that to them at these sites?
Okay, so I'll take the first question there, and that was, do we think people are taking advantage of the new opportunities by opening up hospitality and the restaurants to servicing? And I would say yes. I've been to both sites several times since the change took place, and I can tell you the demographics in both age and multiple other points that can be tracked have changed. Definitely that group has taken advantage of this. For the younger teenagers in the groups that have the opportunity to get shots because they work in the grocery stores or a pizza shop or something of that nature, they are eligible. If they're less than 18 years old, their parent or guardian has to come with them. I actually witnessed one of those events the other day when we were working on Saturday at Cashman, and the parents have to give permission, sign an authorization form on site for the child to get that vaccine.
And keep in mind that's for 16 and 17-year-olds. There is not a vaccine for those younger. And I would say that a lot of people are very excited to get the vaccine. They sign up right away. We see about half of the population in that category, maybe a little less. And then there's a group that may not be as excited about it, and they're waiting to see what happens. And then some may need some more information or need some more education about the vaccine. So.
From the chat on the same topic, how do parents sign up online? It says 18 and up. The website won't allow 16 and 17-year-olds to make it through past when they put their DOB in.
So that was brought up today, and I'm not sure where the IT people ended up on that. There's only one vaccine that a 16 or 17-year-old is actually eligible for because the other two have an 18-year-old limit on them. I don't know if they've got that wrapped up. The one that came in the other day that I witnessed was a walk-in.
Thank you, Chief. Our next call today is from Kendall Kim. I'm unmuting you now.
Thank you. I had a question hearing from people who are not able to get an appointment for whatever reason, but are hoping to get a vaccine through the waste or wait list. Are the eligibility requirements being enacted for those people that come down and wait in that waste list line?
So again, being at the sites at the end of the day and seeing how this plays out, there are people that congregate outside that would like to get a shot. And I've seen it firsthand where they'll go outside. Maybe we have 10 or 15 shots that are overdrawn out that are extra for the day. The site operators typically will go out and say, okay, who in this group is over 70? And they'll raise their hands. Now, why a 70-year-old or anybody 65 and above right now can't get an appointment? I'm not sure, because they should. We usually have some capacity at the end of the day to make extra or have some openings, a few every day. But they go out there, and then once they get through the 70s, then they go down to the 65s. And if there's anything else left over, then it'll be, they'll just kind of go down in age. There's no formal process for it. We leave each site operator up to their own best judgment on doing that.
Thank you. Our next question is from Jonah Dylan.
Hey, I wanted to sort of follow up on that question for people who, especially at Cashman hearing, they're told to sort of get in line and get their name on a list at like 7:30 a.m. Is that something that you're encouraging people to do if they're not eligible, or are there better ways for them to look to get on those waste lists?
If the site operator at Cashman is having them do that, that's when we said we're going to leave their operational mode up to them. And if that's what they're choosing to do, then that's fine. I don't have firsthand knowledge of that. I'm not there at 7:30 in the morning. I'm typically there at the end of the day when they go out and start, announcing that they do have some openings and looking for people by age.
Thank you, sir. Do any other members of the media have any questions at this time? If so, please use the raise hand feature, which is at the bottom of the participants list if you're on your computer, or *9 if you're calling in. Go ahead, please, Jaclyn.
Hi again. What's your vision for expanded hours? How would that look like, and what's the hopes in the future?
So expanded hours are an operational desire of ours. To do so, we have to have the Stan Fulton testing site be taken completely over, relieving about 50 National Guard members from their assignment over there that we can then bolster our staff with at both of our megapods at Convention and Cashman. When we get to that point, the first 4 weeks, everything's a 4-week block. We can't pivot very quick because, like today, we're giving shots and promising out in 3 and 4 weeks, depending on which medicine you get, that we're going to give you a second shot during that operational period. So once we get to doing expanded hours, then we can start scheduling for, we have to absorb all those second shots, and then we have to start scheduling for what our next expanded hours are going to be. So it's going to be 4-week blocks as we build this out. I anticipate the first ones will cover the exact same timeframes that we have right now, which is like 8:30 to 4:30. But one group may start, we may split the staff at a certain location in what we call A-B rosters. And the A shift will come on at, say, 7 in the morning and work until 3. And the B shift will come on at noon and conceptually work till 8. Now, don't hold me to those numbers, but that's what we're looking at so that we can overlap. We can pick up the promised second shots that we owe, and we can start giving shots at different times for that next 4-week period when we can transition a little bit more. Does that make sense?
She's muted, so I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
Next up is Mary Hines. Oh, and Jaclyn said yes, it made sense. Okay, Mary, did I unmute you? There you go. Wait, hold on.
Okay, thank you. So would you say at this point, would you describe demand as remaining high for the shot? And not to steal the governor's thunder, but can you give any assessment of when more groups would be becoming eligible and who these groups would be?
So I'll answer the first part. And yes, I think demand is high, and Joanne will probably co-sign on that, because we've added a couple thousand appointments a day at all our locations, and we're filling up for the most part. Yes, we're making some effort in the morning to get some extra spots filled, but we went from 4,000 to 6,000 at some of these locations, and we're doing a higher capacity at each location. So yes, the demand is there. As far as what's coming up tonight, we'll have to let the governor's office put that out. Personally, not privy to that information at this time. I'm not sure if anybody at the health district has that up front, but that's the governor's responsibility to release whatever his update is tonight.
Yes, and I would also add that the demand seems high, not only with our clinics, but with our community partners as well. They're seeing a good utilization of the vaccine. So we are definitely going through vaccine. They call me almost every day and say, can we have another 1,000 doses? And I'm like, yes, let's get it out the door and into arms. So it's been a very efficient process. And I think we're going forward. I expect that we will be vaccinating even more per day.
Thank you, Joanne. At this time, we don't have any other raised hands, but do any of our speakers have any closing statements for today?
No, we just want to strongly encourage everybody that is eligible to get out there and get their shot. The closer that we get to our goal of herd immunity, we'll get everybody back to work, get our city back open, and provide the protection for our loved ones, our families, our friends, and all of our community.
And I would definitely like to echo that. And please don't wait to get your vaccine. Get it now. Even though we're very busy, we still have appointments open. When other groups, we have really big groups opening up soon, in the next few weeks. Nationally, it's looking at 16 to 64 with chronic health conditions. And then the general population, there's a lot of discussion about that nationally. So don't wait until the crowds are overwhelming.
Thank you, Joanne, and thank you all for joining us today. Later this afternoon, we will be posting our vaccine snapshot on our website at snhd.info/COVID. Then click on the vaccine link at the top of the page.
You've been watching breaking news from the Las Vegas Review Journal, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.